Next month's elections across the state will feature ballots full of questions about taxes, whether to keep them the same, lower them with a no vote, or in some cases increase them. Now, here in Albuquerque, the city has 11 bonds based on existing property taxes and a continuation of a sales tax for transportation funding. Correspondent Megan Kerrick spoke with Mayor Tim Keller earlier this week about the case for the bonds and the context in which the city is making the ask of its citizens.
Mayor Keller, thank you for joining us on New Mexico in Focus.
Great to be here with you.
So 11 bonds and a quarter-cent gross receipt tax on this November's ballot. All told, the bonds raise $128.5 million for the city. They cost about $5 in property tax per month for a $200,000 home. The tried and true marketing method for renewing bonds is to say taxes won't increase. While that may be true, the city is asking for extensions of both sales tax and property tax for transportation needs. So if voters are unhappy with the roads, do they have no other choice than to put their foot down on one of these taxes?
Well, I think the irony is if you're unhappy with roads, cutting funding for roads will not make you happier. So it's not worth the $5 on your property tax. So these are things, the city every 2 years goes through a GO bond process, and so does the state, of course. And so, this is how we fund everyday things, whether it's stop signs, roads, parks, etc. There's also some really big projects in there, too, that are important for our city. But I think because they don't raise your taxes, it's one of these, let's at least keep the momentum that we have. Let's keep, the progress that we're making. Going backwards at this point, I think would be detrimental to the city of Albuquerque. So I hope folks, will vote for these. But there's a lot of reasons to do so, and at least your tax bill won't change in the wrong direction.
So the Parks and Rec bonds contain almost $4.3 million in cutouts among the council districts. Only one of those cutouts, the pool at North Domingo Baca in the Heights, is earmarked. Is that necessary?
A lot of that is a result of kind of back and forth with city councilors. And so that pool has been a passion project for a long time out there. And so they wanted to specifically put it in there. The irony is, Mayor, you have to watch out for the whole city, not just, one project in a neighborhood. So we always prefer flexibility. So we like generic language. And every time we do a GO bond, there's always kind of a fight there. And sometimes you see specific things in there. And that's usually because a councilor had enough support to say, we want to make sure people know about this particular project. But if you go on the city's website or even through 311, you can find a list of all the projects. It is public record that those dollars could be used for, even if they're not mentioned.
Albuquerque voters still don't have the bus rapid transit system they paid for. How do you assure that the myriad projects funded by these bond issues don't turn out the same way?
Yeah, these are really plain vanilla projects, and there's minor exceptions, like a new library in the Southeast Heights, a big piece of funding for some needed, desperate work for a homeless shelter. But other than that, these projects are very routine in a sense that we've got to redo playgrounds at parks. We have to increase or fix up the maintenance at all our police stations. We're going to expand the Southeast Heights police station. So we're hoping, and I think usually it's always the case, that there's really not anything in here that is a game changer, so to speak, other than that homeless shelter. That is something that we'll probably get to.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I do want to talk about that. The $14 million for the homeless shelter, what programmatic plans are in place to ensure it has the wraparound social services to make it useful and relevant?
Yeah, this project is one where we've basically seen 500 more homeless folks every year in the city of Albuquerque for the last 5 years. And so we have lots of nonprofits who do a whole lot to help homeless folks, and we basically just want to help them. So all we're trying to do is partner with UNMH and make sure that we have a place where people can get some, sort of triage care, crisis care, and then we'll, is sort of like a clearinghouse, we'll sort them to the various nonprofits like Heading Home and other organizations that provide supportive housing or addiction and treatment. So we actually don't want to operate anything or do anything new. We just have to have a centralized location. We'd like to have many locations actually, but we got to start somewhere. So one place where someone can go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whether you're a man or a woman or a family or whether you're addicted or not, we have to have somewhere to go. Because right now the only choice is the emergency room Coronado Park, or incarceration. All of those are not good options. So this is really just kind of a gateway into the system. That's what we're trying to create. We're not trying to replicate anything anyone else is doing.
Where are the operational funds going to come from?
So right now the city spends upwards of $20 million already on all of the nonprofits as contractors who are doing things, including run our West Side shelter. So we intend on using the same operating money we use at the West Side and moving most of it as best we can to this. And so the operational funding we think will be, there'll be incremental increases, but initially especially not substantial because we want the same operators that work on all our stuff now to work in that center.
So speaking of bonds, the City Council approved a $30 million package of lodgers tax bonds, despite the fact that the Lodgers Tax Advisory Board says you didn't give them enough time to evaluate the project. That might not be the measured approach that voters desire or want.
Well, again, just to remind folks, this has nothing to do with what's on the election in November. But to that point, I think there's been a little bit of rhetoric on both sides on this, and we notified the board, as we always do, for the hearing. And so we had a fair hearing on that, and it went through various council committees. So there was a public process. But the real rub there, which hasn't come out, is that project was meant for attracting tournaments like softball tournaments and baseball tournaments and track tournaments to Albuquerque. And that's something that is very different than the traditional model of attracting convention business here. And so that was actually a philosophical difference. And I think it's okay. And I think we got a 9-0 vote on council. And at the end of the day, I think folks thought this was a good strategy. So I think it was really a disagreement around which direction we should go. But there's going to be lots of lodgers tax going forward. So we've got plenty of room to do a whole lot when it comes to the convention center, too. So we feel good on both fronts, actually.
Though it wasn't impacted by bonds, Albuquerque's annual budget increased by about 11% this year to more than $1 billion. And in fact, the city government is 44% more expensive than a decade ago in the general fund. Why is that? Is 44% better? How does that impact how voters should view the bonds?
Well, again, the bonds are one-time funding, so it's a good question, but just want to separate what you're voting on and then kind of this issue. It's all public safety. We have to continue to increase our budget to fund 400 new officers. We got 100 in our first year. And we will not continue to be a incrementally safer city unless we continue to fund public safety. And so that's going to be our biggest ask in the legislature. They're always our biggest grant asks. And if we don't deal with addiction and public safety, all these other things like lodgers tax aren't going to matter as much. And so to me, that's the number one priority, and that's why we're funding it every chance we can.
How will voters gauge the success of that increase?
On the bond side or on the?
On the increase in terms of budget and the cost of government.
Sure. Well, ultimately, we are the largest city in the state of New Mexico, obviously, but it's also in the entire region between Denver and El Paso and Austin and Phoenix. And as a result, we get all the challenges, whether it's healthcare or it's public safety or it's education, in Albuquerque in that entire region. And so for us, we have to have a city government that can deliver on those needs for this entire region. And it's going to take a big city budget. And so that's what we have now. So people will know it's successful, I think, if they feel safer. That means crime stats are actually down, and if they're getting the services that they need. And I think also they see the city continuing to step up its role regionally. We should be on par with those cities. We've slipped for decades, and it's going to take decades to get us back up there as a true regional capital in the Southwest. And that's my goal.
So there's just about $400,000 for ADA sidewalk improvements in the bonds we're talking about. Albuquerque already has a reputation as being, in many places, an unwalkable city. Why can't you take a bigger swipe at the problems ADA-reliant folks face?
Well, the biggest thing is we're able to get a lot of grant funding for those improvements. So this is just the slice in the GO bond. And actually, our administration has put in $7 million in ADA compliance. Now, we know the gap is hundreds of millions. So this is one of these where you got to chip away at it every year. But if you look at entire neighborhoods, like Trumbull neighborhood, for example, is now all ADA compliant. And we're trying to work slowly through all our city facilities that should have been done decades ago. So we do have, I think, a program in place to chip away at that, but we try and use grant funding whenever we can, and ADA is one of the best areas to get grant funding, and also to move when we have year-end monies. You'll always see big chunks for ADA in there because it's something that everyone agrees with. And so that's how we tend to fund ADA as opposed to GO bonds.
Well, Mayor Keller, thank you for coming and talking about all these issues with us.
Sure, so lots on the ballot, some great projects, no taxes, no new taxes. And I do want to remind folks too, the transport tax is a tax renewal, it's not a tax increase. And that's for generic bus service all across the city. So it's not related to the ART project directly at all.
Okay, good to know. Thank you so much.